Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Road to Self-Mastery. It's a free online workshop that covers the basics and some of the winding paths of what it takes to really dive into oneself, to really understand what it is that you are, who you want to be, and how you want to show up in the world. The most advanced teachings that we can find out there generally sound like gibberish. The most advanced teacher is silence. But if this was just video after video of just me staring into the camera, then you'd want your money back. Even if this is free, I'd have to pay you to watch it. Your time is worth money. Time is valuable. It's the one resource that you have. So it doesn't make too much sense to spend your time on things that are inefficient, ineffective, and that don't result in what you want to have happen. So in the interest of making sure that this is relevant for you, I will start at the beginning. Starting at the beginning, the most important thing that you ever do, even if you're near the end of whatever path and goal you've set for yourself, something that you want to accomplish, something that you want to attain. The most important thing that you can ever know, no matter where you are, no matter what situation or circumstance or event you find yourself in, it's where you are right here, right now. And it's so simple, it's often overlooked. And yet within that right here, right now moment, that feeling, that sense of I exist, I'm right here. Within that non-conceptual, intuitive, thought-free, clear space of I exist right now, right here. I'm here. From that, everything else comes. So this is the first teaching, the first lesson, the first exercise. This is simultaneously the core as well as the deepening nature of what exactly it is we're going to be talking about throughout this entire course, throughout this entire workshop, throughout this entire series. Is where are you right now? And it's more of a question, less so than something that you're going to answer for yourself with words and concepts and ideas and categories and labels. It's instead tuning in more beyond what the thinking mind wants to see. So for a moment, just while you're listening to this, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and release it. Another one. After 3 deep breaths, you can find your body relaxing. You'll find your mind relaxing as well. So often we'll just get ourselves wrapped up in things outside of ourselves, and ideas and concepts and plans and concerns that we just naturally become pulled outside. There's nothing wrong with that. Enjoy the play of color in the movie outside, sure. But when you watch the movie, don't think that you're Captain America. Don't think that you're Wonder Woman staring at the screen. You remember that you're watching a movie. And in so doing, you can actually enjoy the movie that much more. So for 2 to 5 seconds, take a deep breath, and on the exhale, surrender any and all interest in thoughts. Simply be uninterested in anything that the thinking mind has to offer you. And in this way, you will gradually familiarize yourself with that which remains. And deepening into this, making an ever-present part of your daily interactions, your conversations. In this way, there is an ever-present fountain of well-being that you're just drinking from nonstop. Your cup is continually being filled by the very fact that you exist, that which is changeless across all of your life, across all situations. Because this conversation is going to start, and this one's going to die down. This plant that you're growing is going to flourish, it'll flower, and then at the end of the season, it'll go back to seed. This plan that you have, that you want to realize, this thing that you want to accomplish, it will happen, maybe, if it's truly relevant and resonant for you, and then it'll pass. These are appearances that are rising and passing away, and yet throughout this, you remain. There is something changeless in your experience that cannot be defined, and it cannot be wrapped up in concepts and captured and entangled. It is forever free. It is forever free from form. It is the source and the well-being and of joy that is your very nature. And by simply remembering this, by simply recognizing this for 2 to 5 seconds at a time, 10 to 12 times a day, this rapidly becomes entrained into your body, mind, spirit system, into this personality construct called you that bears your name, that walks around and eats food and opens doors. So for 2 to 5 seconds, over and over and over again, repeatedly and frequently throughout the day, with sincere intent, the simple recognition of the fact that you exist, not that you exist and you're doing something else, just the feeling state, I exist. You can lock onto that, and you can't grasp it. It's there. You just kind of look for it. You feel it. You recognize that it's there, and in this way, you can start noticing that it's the same across all circumstances, across all situations, whether it's an argument or whether you're making love to your partner. It doesn't matter. It's always there. And by investing your well-being, your sense of self, your sense of identity, more in the fact that you exist rather than in the appearances that show up to you, you will find yourself free from all that which would normally bother you. Free to choose what you want to feel, how you want to think, and who you want to be, who you want to come across as in any situation. And of course, there's a deepening process in this. There's a familiarization. This becomes habituated over time. And maybe for the first week or two, you gotta set little alarms on your phone. There's little post-it notes, and you stick them all over your place. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just understand that the sticky notes are not giving you the power to recognize the fact that you exist. It's simply a permission slip. And that ultimately you gotta let go of those post-it notes and those reminders and those alarms, and understand that that which is true in your experience is true. It was true before you were aware of it. Now that you're aware of it, it's there, it's true. And once you're no longer aware of it, it is still true. You don't need to remind yourself to see the truth, to see that which is true in your experience. Everything that you see confirms that which you already know, that which is true in your essence and down in your core, your true nature, which can bear many names. It can bear the name of God, it can bear the name of Satchitananda, or I am, or any of these qualities that we generally associate with the biggest, brightest things we can think of. Bliss, consciousness, joy, love, awareness. All of this, these are different qualities that are sort of closer to the core essence of who you are and what you are. So let yourself truly recognize and deepen into this. Recognize not just the fact that you remain. Stay aware of that which does remain. I exist, and stay aware. Don't just fall asleep. Don't just go into a trance state of no thought. Stay aware, stay awake, stay alert. And in this way, you will recognize that when you have surrendered your opinions, or surrendered your thoughts, when you've given them up given them back to creation. You give up everything that you think matters so much. And then you just, hey, I'm here. You can realize that you put these opinions and these attitudes and these thoughts and these plans and these concerns and these worries and these fears and all of these things in the world that are out there that seem so very, very important, that these are nothing more than t-shirts that you can put on and take off. These are nothing more than mists and ghosts coming out at you, swinging swords. But it's nothing but fog. You can just walk right through it. And in your making it real, in your giving them power, you're surrendering your own essence, your own power, your own enigma to the ghosts in the fog and making them real. You don't have to waste your energy in this way. Where focus goes, energy flows. Point your focus more on the fact that you exist and stay aware of that which remains, simply for 2 to 5 seconds at a time, 10 to 12 times a day, until this becomes a stable part of your life. And watch and simply observe as every single breath becomes infused with a sense of vitality and vibrancy and aliveness that you can't even begin to grasp, because you're so locked up in the right words and whether or not this is right or this is wrong. Because at a certain point you see that the same essence that is you, that is you, that is actually you, that same essence which is changeless across everything that you experience, is the same presence, consciousness, energy, essence that is implicit in everything else. There is no state of being without a circumstance. And in a pen that I hold, the very fact that I am aware of this pen confirms that I am aware of it. There's no way you can never not be mindful, because everything that you perceive confirms the very fact that you exist. So you can actually never be not present. You are always fully capable, fully present, fully conscious, fully aware, already and always. Now this sense of I am, which is always and already here, and which never leaves your experience, this is the core teaching of all spiritual teachings, all religions, is the simple fact that you exist. And by deepening into this, feeling this core essence, you can start to witness that same sense of presence, that same isness, that same intangible quality of beingness in other people. And other people are really good for recognizing this, because they're filled with so much catalyst for us and so much growth and learning. They're always, the ones that are triggering us more than a flower. So you can recognize in other people the same sense of isness, the same presence, the same awareness, the same consciousness that you have. And in so doing, you free them up to be who they want to be who they really are instead of the assumptions and the prison of your own thoughts that you are forcing them into in your reality. If I'm only ever looking at someone and I see that they are, and I just know that they're just a bad person, or they're just cruel and mean, and they're just unforgiving, and I've heard about this person from other people, so I know this is true, then I'm going to treat them in a way where they are forced to be this person to me. I've already made up my mind. I've already created a prison of my own thoughts, and I'm forcing them into it. So of course they're going to play straight into that. The way to actually reach out and connect and see with somebody and see the truth and the light within somebody is in seeing them for who they are, for who they actually are, not who you think they are going to be. Perceive in them the love and the unity and the joy and the bliss that they have and the gratitude that they have already implicit within them, simply by the fact that they exist and the fact that you exist, and you know what it's like to exist, and you know how good it is, so you know how good they are, no matter what story they're telling themselves about the suffering and their trials and their trauma and how rough life is and how hard things are. Instead, simply look straight at them and see that there is a beautiful, loving, joyous, and incredible universe of feeling right there behind their eyes. And since you can see it, they are free to walk in that. You've opened a door into your reality that you have created, and they can walk straight through that. They can walk into the light of their own presence and become aware of that which they truly are, instead of being lost to the lifetimes of conditioning that have kept us in love with our suffering for so very, very long. And it starts with one thing. It starts with paying attention to the fact that you exist for 2 to 5 seconds at a time, 10 to 12 times a day. Deepen into this. Familiarize yourself with that which remains. Stay aware of the sense of presence, the sense of beingness. Speak only from this place. Know only from this place. Hear only from this place. That place which is hearing those words that are coming from this video right now. That listener that hears the words that are being said. The knower that knows that all of this is happening right now. That which is seeing what you see. Paying more attention to the fact that you see than to the things that you see. Put more energy into your sense of beingness, into your sense of I am, into your sense, I exist, I am here. Deepen into this, every sensation, moment by moment by moment. And watch as the entire world transforms. Turn up the clarity on beingness. Turn up the brightness on aliveness. Turn up the volume on the fact that you exist. And stop giving so much power to the stories that are heard on the media. This is nothing but hearsay. Stop giving all of your power and surrendering your sense of self and your sense of well-being to other people's stories about suffering. About how terrible things are and how stressed they are. Understand that they feel isolated because they are so in love with their thoughts and they're so in love with their ideas and this sense of being a person in the world, that they have forgotten the simple fact that they exist, and that is the true source of joy. Because this source of joy is now implicit in everything in the world around you, and you walk around as a shining beacon of light. So the other concepts in this series, the other perspectives and the other points of view, the other methods and tools and exercises that will be presented are all founded on this sense I am. This is the core source and fountain of all well-being. And it is the foundation from which we can start building a comprehensive thought system that allows us to structure our reality in a cohesive way that allows us to be decisive in every moment, to be truly confident and capable in any moment, regardless of any circumstances. Because we are paying more attention again to that which is changeless across. And in so doing, we are keeping our power from being taken away from us, the power of decision, the power of agency. Now this will allow us to do many things. We'll be covering up how to use other circumstances to kind of reflect back to us our sense of being and our sense of self, surrendering attachment to the outcome, relying more on the creative flow and power of the creative process, and we will be, in so doing, tapping into deep reservoirs of flow, of certainty, of creativity, of confidence, And this is really what's going to take us as individuals, and mostly as a collective, into a truly empowered society that is in charge of its own destiny, that recognizes the possibility in every single moment, understanding with utter conviction that everything is possible, and that not only is everything possible, but everything is okay. No matter what stories are being told about suffering, about trauma, about loss and victory, about sorrow and anguish, no matter what's happening out in the world and all the suffering that people want to create for themselves, you will know that you are always and already forever free, eternally so, that you are fully capable, fully empowered to be who you want to be, to know what to do in each moment, to know what to say to best serve your calling and to serve others. So I look forward to this journey with you. Thank you for being a part of a larger collective shift wherein the entire world is waking up